Today.
I think you are feeling indecisive. Well, I'm glad. Are we live? I have to find my. Um, Thank you, Billy,
Oh.
for this. I needed some therapy, and I wanted you to dissect my brain a bit because there's been so much going on, and I feel like talking to you always helps clear confusion.
Oh, shucks. Thanks.
Well, I
That's
mean,
nice.
with our MBI types, I don't know. There's something about INFJs that I feel the most trusting with, and also not all INFJs are really into the MBTI. So
Wow.
I feel like besides Cam, you probably know how my brain operates more than anybody. So only because Cam is an INTJ also, but.
Well, the commonality here is that we're both fucked, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what I
I don't.
mean.
We're just
Uh,
born in the wrong century, really.
there's
But
no, um, there's no. A lot of people like to hype it up. Just like they aspire as if it's some kind of like aspiration. Like, oh yeah, I'm an INTJ or I'm an INFJ. Ooh, and then I have that. The title, like the advocate, I stay away from, I steer away from that because
yeah,
they're so misleading. But the INTJ has the sort of the title of the chess master, the mastermind. That's it, the mastermind. The INFJ has the title of like the counselor or something, or the prophet or something shitty like that.
yeah. No, but you're my counselor.
These are all stupid because it turns into horoscopes.
Yeah, it
So
does.
you have to be very careful to avoid that.
Yeah. I've been seeing so much stuff. I just got back from a convention, and I am solid in feeling like I made the right decision on where to place myself. Because I got to meet where all the people with integrity hang out. Damn it. It was a complete 180 from my environment. And you know what? I was told by somebody within the system that it's typically where the higher IQ people tend to be. But I found, because I was a bit concerned. I wasn't worried. I was just curious to see if I had joined another ideologically infected cult. And it turns out I joined a value and principle based culture of people that have a job to do and love it.
So, a couple of questions I have for you then.
Mm-hmm.
This convention, this group of people, is it strictly supposed to be like overarching where you are?
It's external
Like
pressure and holding people
the convention of the
accountable.
higher ups.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Higher
then
ups on the outside, not within the system.
So, okay, maybe that's a good thing you said that, because I was about to say, like, but if it's so, this is a higher ups with integrity and people who are civilized, and how is it everything internally then is disarray?
Yeah, so these people are responsible for holding accountable the people responsible for the disarray.
But what? It's not quite working because they're getting away with it.
Oh, they are getting away with it for sure. Yeah. I found a lot of the the answers to a lot of my questions were kind of the same that I run into. I mean, what's the percent of the population that is even my personality type, let alone females, right? It's like super small.
Yeah, like 1%. But again,
right.
Again, don't really take the stats with a pinch of sort of salt.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because out of all the people that I have in my tribe, there's only one other woman like me that I've ever met.
Yeah. But
So
the whole MBTI thing, just as a kind of disclaimer, footnote, or whatever, please, those who are watching and listening, please do not look at it if you're into it, you're looking into it, or whatever, you're interested in it. The point of it is to have an understanding of functions and function stacks and how they relate to one another. So please avoid the stereotyped compilations where they kind of like carry on the one hand there is sort of truth in it, but if you lean into it too much, you're kind of missing the point. You're not really getting the understanding of how these things interact, how they relate, how they function together, and that's just within yourself, but with other people as well. So that means like avoid the statistics, avoid the descriptions, because you get into these like Barnum statements, you know, like it could be stereotypes that the INFJ, the INTJ, we like our quiet time, we like our peace time, we're sort of introverted. And someone else will be like, oh, I'm like that. Oh yeah, I like to sit, I like to have peace time.
yeah.
Oh, I must be an INFJ then. It's like, you know, everyone could say yes to these questions.
Yeah.
You know? So basically, just be careful you don't fall into this sort of trap, because it happens way too often that, in fact, pretty much every, I don't know, like more times than not, that people end up getting mistyped. And if you mistype, you really get screwed over, because you start building in a bias in your head, and you're mapping you're mapping yourself with the wrong blueprints, you know. And so then if you try to utilize what you're supposed to be learning, as in understanding how the functions are working and how they relate, you're mistyping yourself, or someone's mistyped you,
Right.
you're applying a different dialect or a different language, almost, of sorts, to yourself, to a system, which it's not gonna work. It's gonna be very misleading, and you're gonna end up running into problems, you know. And as another, I know I already made that too long as a disclaimer or whatever, and this isn't a competition. Like, no one type is better than the other. They're all important, they're all unique in their own different ways. There's nothing, and in saying that, there's actually nothing really that special about them either.
Well, I don't know, Billy. I think certain types are really good for certain jobs.
Yes, but that would be saying that certain jobs are better than other jobs. So all jobs, I mean, yeah, okay, all right. I know you're gonna say, like, you know, we don't need underwater basket weavers, you know. But it is important to have some of these. You know, you do need having is good. It's good that there are 16 functions. They're all going to be covered. You get what you get. It is what it is. Tough titties. That's it, basically.
Yeah.
No one is better than the other. No one is lesser than the other. They've all got their strengths. They've all got their weaknesses. They've all got their what applications that they'll be good at and things that they'll be shit at. So you might think that being an INTJ makes you good at logical, statistical, analytical, strategy, tactics, organization, efficiency, but you've got inferior SE, which means you're a bit of a doofus when it comes to in world being in touch with the world, the being overly stimulated by your surroundings. If SC was your number one function, you'd be a much more sportier type of person. So a lot of sport people, probably not necessarily all of them, you know, but will have a higher. The SC would be higher up. They're taking in the sensory externally, and they don't get overwhelmed by the sensory. So they can run with the ball. They can fly by the seat of their pants. They can go with the flow. They can interact with the world.
You know what?
Than you can.
I don't know. I think I interact with the world pretty well. Something I did notice recently. By the way, hello, Johnny. After I decided what I was going to do in this environment, the chaos didn't seem to bother me as much. Like now my brain's like laser focused on my new role. And that seems to drown out a lot of the noise, make it less irritating.
Good.
Yeah.
Because for anyone aside from the MBTI, so stress, anxiety, trauma, instability, chaos, all that kind of shit leads into impairment in critical thinking, because critical thinking is energy consuming. You need time to think clearly. You need time to ponder, to go through thought processes, to evaluate. And if you're under stress and things are very fast paced and you're being bombarded and you haven't got time to think and you know all this and everything going topsy turvy, then it pushes you into emotional thinking. And again, this is another kind of like I'm gonna be a bit of a asshole, I think, on this stream, where I'm gonna be like,
do it.
Like, don't be on your high horse all the because emotion, like logic versus emotion. People think, oh, you know, you're an emotional thinker. That you're stupid or something like that, or you're less, or emotional thinkers are for idiots, and we are the smarties, and we critical think because we're sophisticated or whatnot. They both again have their strengths and weaknesses. So given the conditions and the parameters, it is useful in a stressful situation, in a sense, to a degree, to be emotionally thinking, because you need to be able to adapt quickly and survive. It doesn't mean you're going to come out unscathed, right? Obviously, make bad decisions, but if you haven't got the luxury to be able to critically think, you're not being given any opportunity to. You can't do any of that. It's been cut off from you. What else have you got but to utilize emotional thinking?
See what? So I had a racist approach me last week and pretty much threatened me, and she brought up this other situation where she again approached me about, you know, trying to see if I'm the racist one. And when she said that, in my brain, I thought about the past year, every little interaction we've had, why I think she might be racist, because she's one of these black identitarians that were like, black this, black that, all the things. And then I've heard her talk shit about white people, and then she cheated on her husband and then bragged about how she got her a white man side piece at work. And so, like, I'm thinking, and then the previous time she approached me because something sounded racist that I said. Now, it wasn't anything I said to her face. It was what she heard fourth or fifth hand from somebody else. But when she approached me and brought up, like, you remember last time, blah, 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 and I just laughed in her face. That was my reaction, because I'm like, oh, here we go again with the projection. I don't think that was a good response for that moment.
Well, you laughing in her face, and
Yeah.
no, probably not, because
Yeah.
because if she's coming back like, hey, remember before,
Uh-huh.
however long ago that was,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
has been a recurring.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And
It's been in the back of her mind.
oh, the back of her mind. Like, she's constantly looking for white people to be racist because she's racist.
Yeah, so
She's like projecting it, but it was so funny because, like, she was taken back by that, and she was like, why did you laugh like that? Like that, I forgot the word she used, but it was even funnier because also there's the narcissists at work. You know how narcissists always accuse me of being narcissistic. There's been a little bit of that going around. So I could tell by that whole conversation what she said to me, where she got her information. Because I think she was legitimately concerned that if the color of her skin bothered me, I wouldn't be good at what I'm doing. Like that, I saw that as a legitimate concern. And I saw her when she confronted me and stuff. She was very uneasy. You could tell she was being hyped up to come do this. Because she seems to be the most courageous person in the fucking cult. Which I respected. Like that's the only thing I respect about that person, that instead of talking behind my back, she actually confronted me to my face, which I appreciate. But at the same time, I laughed in her face when she brought it up and when she threatened me.
But
Like,
if they're, it's hard not to psychoanalyze sometimes, because
yeah.
you
By
might
the
be
way,
looking.
hi, John.
Hey, Johnny, might be looking at the things that aren't really there, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
but by looking at the patterns and by what you're saying and putting the pieces together, you've got someone who, and a lot of these kind of wokey, lefty, feministy type of people, emotionally unstable,
Super.
unhealthy people, whatever. They in a generalized way have they're preoccupied with being self-absorbed, because they're constantly feeling threatened, they're constantly feeling challenged, they're having trouble with gauging, with interfacing with reality and other people, and what does this mean? And so basically, when you laughed in her face,
I can still picture the look on her face when I did that. She was shocked. She was absent because she approached me very, very sure of herself that she was going to tell me something. And I laughed at her, and it like kind of put her off balance, I think. Kind of deflated her little ego a little bit.
yeah, because it's like a wooga, a danger alert. Was it an expression of being mortified? Would you say
Oh, yeah.
clutching
Like,
her pearls, sort of gasp horror?
no, it was more, it was a surprise and freeze response. And then she said, why did you laugh like that? Like she recalled hearing something.
Yeah, so it has so doubt causes,
Yeah.
because the self-doubt will chip away at like confidence and self-esteem, and like it sort of spirals down.
Yeah.
um so a person is less, what's the word, when um what when they make their impact on the world, they're less, not present, um like having agency, so their effectiveness on their environment.
Mm.
So like with I'm not saying that she is a narcissist, but like with a narcissist, while their egos are up in the heavens or whatever, and they're full of bravado and all this, they think they're invincible and unstoppable. um they can enact, is that the word I'm thinking? They have agency in the world.
Mm.
They're mobile, they're enabled, right? They can do things. But once a esteem has been, or ego has been bruised, and it's been a narcissistic injury sufficiently enough, they start to withdraw, because now they're not too sure of themselves.
Yeah.
They can't quite trust their own. They're not too sure how to proceed.
Mhm.
So, um, so yeah, they lose their confidence. They become more hesitant,
Mhm.
and, and this is quite. If it was a narcissist, this is quite scary for them to um, be confronted by,
Mhm.
because for narcissists, it's about survival. So if you're hesitant, or you have self-doubt, and you're not sure how to proceed, that's a dangerous situation to be in.
Mm.
um, so could this be like a mild, or a version of that, where she wants to clarify with you, what did you mean by that?
Mhm.
um, because what she's looking for is security.
Yeah.
She wants to be reassured.
Yeah.
Whatever her ego is telling her, the integrity of her ego is maintained.
Mm.
So if if you're laughing, or maybe you said something that kind of makes her have to think about things, like if you start to try and interject a bit of critical thinking, or a bit of logic, or a counter viewpoint or something, it has to be, if it was a narcissist, it has to be processed through a lens of narcissism. Like, what does this mean for the integrity of the ego superstructure?
Mm.
As in, so what does that sort of translate? Like, so does what you say jeopardize this bubble inside my head, where I think I'm the hot shit?
Yeah, she thinks she's the hot
Yeah.
shit.
Or like I've got things in control, like I'm in control of things.
Yeah.
um
What's funny is when she, which, okay, that's a legitimate, that's a fair question. Am I racist? Is the color of her skin going to be a problem for me? Pretty much was what she was asking. And I was like, I don't see how it would be, and I don't give a shit about skin color. I hold everybody to the same standard, and I don't give preferential treatment to anybody because of their skin color. That one threw her off. That one threw her off.
the
Because she was like, then it went to the pearl clutching. Because I was like, because I do see a lot of racism around here just like that. And
so
she was just like, what? Like, what? I was like, oh, you don't see that? Knowing goddamn well she's a recipient of said preferential treatment. She lied to my face. She knew damn well because she thought about it and realized exactly what I was talking about and then said, no, she's never seen it.
So it's okay. The race subject. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't ever any like racism and whatever, right? But it's become like the race. We call it the race card now. You know, like the victim card, because it's almost cliched. It's the arena. So another version would be like the sexism card. This is the boxing ring I want to take people into, where I feel like I can control the environment.
Yes.
So when you say I treat everyone equally regardless of their race,
I hold everybody to the same standard, is what I said.
it's like, shit, we got a problem here, because I was hoping to take this into the racist boxing ring.
Yeah.
And if you're treating everyone equally, you're basically saying the racist boxing ring is void. It's non-existent. There is no racist boxing ring. So this is like, shit, how do I entangle with someone? How do I wrestle with them in the mud if I can't get them into the racist boxing ring?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. And for the sexist ones, it would be the same thing. Sexist one, or the feminists. That's why they have the same kind of argument. And this is why we say it's got nothing really to do with racism. It's got nothing really to do with sexism, and it's got nothing really to do with the feminists aren't really arguing any feminist points.
Right.
What this is all about is getting you engaged into combat.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what this is about.
Yeah.
And for that to take place, there needs to be like a cover story. There needs to be some kind of reasoning.
Yeah.
You know, you don't just wrestle with someone without some kind of justification. So by just plucking out some kind of contention, then we can justify. And it's kind of clever how I don't know if it's like evolved into this sort of combat style, because if you're unaware, and it happened, you know, it's been going on for years now. People we call it like it's like they're baiting you. It's like rage baiting, and most people take the bait. Now they're on the hook. Now they're having to defend themselves against accusations of maybe being racist.
Yeah.
And they quickly find that it's a lose-lose situation, no matter what they do. And this is why we say eventually, go no contact, walk away. You're not going to win this. You know, and it's nothing personal, which brings me to the other point, which was you said that you appreciated her being direct and telling you this.
I did. I thanked her for that.
But you're not getting it, because she's not doing it for your benefit.
I know, but I made it sound like I benefited a great deal from it.
Well, yes, but
I loved it.
But you're not seeing each other eye to eye here.
No, we never will. We're morally and on different fucking pages.
So it's not a genuine interaction. It's not a genuine or a proper kind of scene of eye to eye.
No,
she's coming directly and saying it to you in order to preserve the integrity of her ego.
Yeah.
Because if she's boss babe, and she's all stunning and brave and strong,
yes,
then she needs to be not maybe confrontational in the sense of like trying to start a fight, but I mean, she needs to be.
Oh no, it was she came at me confrontational.
Well, that just
Yeah.
makes it even more so. But you know, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be that way. But if someone is supposedly the leader, boss babe, you know, I don't know, whatever, then they have to kind of like tell themselves to act the part. So if this means having to come up and be direct, speak out loud, cause a scene, maybe hysterical, whatever it is, then she'll do it.
She was looking to do that, and I noticed around me there were quite a few of her friends that were watching to see what unfolded. Like they knew ahead of time it was going to happen.
And that's another aspect, because there's this sort of appearance, the status, the image that also needs to be upheld. So in that framework, all of that becomes a performance. She came to you saying, I hope the color of my skin or the race isn't going to be a problem here and all this. Being direct, basically she was putting on a show because a boxing ring is a spectacle.
But also, Billy, the color of her skin, these black identitarians, they use that. Like when I said, I don't give a shit about the color of your skin, she didn't particular, like, because you know how their skin color is their identity? Like, they don't like that either, come to find out.
Yeah, it's a kind of fun.
It's not important to me one bit. It's people's fucking behavior that matters to me. Like, fundamentally, it's what they do. So she already knows I have little to no respect for her in the regards of being a person with integrity.
It gets harder as well if they're leaning on things like their race to make their arguments for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it becomes a kind of like a paradoxical irony, because they try to use the race card, or maybe it's a sexist card or whatever sort of card. They save the children card, and they try and use it as a sword and a shield, and it becomes a bit of contradictions start to emerge, because it's like you're pushing this. It's like the N bomb as well. You can't. White people can't say the N bomb, but they can say the N bomb as much as they want, sort of thing. So when they say it's like
they have the monopoly on it.
It's endearing, you know, for them. But if someone else says it, it's like, oh, you're reminding us of slavery.
Right.
It's like, well, that's the case, then why do you say it?
Right.
You know? So it doesn't make sense. And it's a passive aggressive word police control. It's a formal kind of trying to have some dominance. So which means is that they laugh behind the scenes or whatever. They laugh at the idea that white people get penalized for saying the N word, because to them it's just it holds no power. You know, it holds no real strength for anything to themselves. They don't care about it, you know. But look how the white people are all groveling or getting a twist.
Yes.
One says it, you know. So they get to laugh. They're laughing at white people blowing things out of proportion, getting so worked up over a word that the black people don't even really care about it. You know, they just throw it. They say it all the time.
Yeah.
But
do as I say, not as I do, Billy.
That as well, yeah.
I hate that.
But they push the whatever ideological stance that they may have. I'm a social justice warrior. I'm saving the planet, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And everyone sees the hypocrisy. Like the Save the Planet people, they're the same people who will be ordering stuff and having loads of premium goodies with packaging that can't be recycled.
Yeah.
You know, like using EV vehicles that are probably more pollutant than actual petrol engines.
On their iPhones that were probably put together in a Chinese sweatshop.
Right.
Like,
So, yeah.
I know.
But so bring it back to the race, because this is what you sort of started with.
Yeah.
So they push forward like black supremacy. Like everyone, if you hear all these kind of rewriting of history now, of like everyone originally was black or were black, Jesus is black, you know, God is black or something like that. And we have to have Black History Month and all this. So black is power and all this, BLM and stuff. But then when it suits them, when need be, it's like, oh, we need reparations. We're slaves. We're victims. We're suffering. We're being marginalized. We're you know, the list goes on. You're like, we're homeless. We need benefits. We're out of jobs. We're dying. We're police brutality. You know, and then they'll try and use statistics, and they look at the statistics wrong, or they misrepresent the data that's being that's available. So you have to kind of step back after a while and be like, what's actually going on here then?
Yeah.
Like, how are these arguments actually legit? Are these actually or legit talking points? And you realize that no, it's all part of this performance. It's the ebbs and flows of what the scene calls for at any given time. You know, so like if you're watching a movie and it's a tragic scene, it's like, right, cue the music for the tragic, you know, get the violins playing. And then like the next scene in the movie, they're going off to fight the dragon. You gotta fight the dragon. Sorry, that's my Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
Then the hero music will cue the hero music, and you know, I will see this with Crocodile Tears. Like the feminists, the false accusers, they know when to cry on cue. Right?
Yes, they do.
So it's just this is why it's like people say it's drama, but it's soapbox drama.
Yeah.
It's televised drama. Yeah. And it's going on season after season.
Oh, I know. I cannot wait till episode 3. There's going to be an episode 3, Billy. Yeah, it was funny when she was walking away, somebody that I was standing next to chatting with when she interrupted me. As she was walking off, he was like, yeah, you're not that intimidating. It's funny.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think she got out of that interaction what she was hoping for.
It's crazy because it's like it's they like to. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit. It's not just them. I mean, Karens as well, right?
Yeah, she's a Karen for sure.
No, but I mean like the white middle class woman kind of Karen. You know, and you get male Karens as well. It's just fucked up people, basically.
Yeah.
But they get so belligerent and so because they think that being loud, obnoxious, and just a pain in the sort of in the ass, but in your ears as well, that you'll submit. So it's kind of
You know what? And she's not a loud one at work. She's not that loud. And that's actually something I appreciate about her. I mean, she's more the sneaky type,
Well, they got
the
the different.
everywhere type, the one that's got her nose so far up leadership's ass, like.
Yeah, I mean, there's the different
Yeah, she's not
angles of
noisy
attack or
though.
whatever, but
Yeah, she's not noisy. I appreciate that.
there's usually some kind of symbol of supremacy. So
Oh yeah.
in that culture, they seem to tend, again, not limited to that culture, but they seem to tend to have these massive fake fingernail claws.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God. I saw a golem. Okay, so there was one. So the culture that I spent an amazing 4 days with is predominantly not crazy bitches. But I saw this one that had fucking pink hair and nails like this.
Your
I
eyes
was
just went,
like,
oh,
well, because she was like a Freddy Krueger.
yeah,
I was like, what the fuck? And all those cluster bees totally hung out in the same group the whole time. So they
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
were condensed to a little bubble, but still,
I
I'm
mean,
like,
like,
why did they think
guy,
that looks good?
you know, so like, I don't want to pick too much on, like, because like guys will have, they'll wear their Nikes or their branding, their labels, right? It's
Yeah,
to sort of their status, right? So I
yeah.
think the long fingernails is because the idea is like princesses and queens would have servants, so they wouldn't need to use their fingers, so they
There's
can.
no way that bitch could do this job that I'm doing with that.
But I find it personally, I find it kind of repulsive.
Yeah,
And the fact that they're fake as well just makes it even more hilarious. And this is what makes it funny,
yeah,
because it's like a tragic. It's like I was saying, it's a drama earlier, soapbox drama. It's like a tragic comedy as
yeah,
well, because they put like they're going to start to shave their eyebrows and then draw them back in,
yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah,
they start just doing. There's because of like poor boundaries and there's no limits, and it's just
yeah.
no, I don't know, reality has just exited the building kind of thing. It's like, oh, I fucked up my fingernails, I fucked up my face. Well, what else can I fuck up? Well, I've got to fuck up my ass, and and,
Yeah.
and then they're just like walking freak.
Yes,
Mm.
little zombies. Yeah.
And then they'll have the audacity to turn around and be like, I'm being oppressed, I'm being marginalized,
Right. Right.
I'm,
Right.
I'm living. My life is the worst in the world, in the universe. Woe is me.
Yeah.
No one, no one loves me.
You know what's funny though? Like, okay, so before I went on this thing, I got to witness somebody. I wouldn't put her in the crazy bitch category because she's somebody that I respect her honesty when it comes to her biological limitations. I do respect that. She definitely knows how to work systems, but she's a professional accountability dodger. And I saw her have 6 different people that were above her, fucking flustered and running around and confused and all kinds of shit. And I was just because I played a part in some of it over a couple hours, and I was impressed. I was impressed that the authority figures were literally getting the runaround by one person that they were trying to hold accountable. And you know what? They were frustrated and they were irritated and they were confused and they were all emotional. But you know what? They fucking deserve it because they do the same fucking thing with the accountability dodging. So it was literally like, what is that kind of TV show that's not real? It's like a reality TV. Only it was legit reality. What I was seeing was really happening. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And in the manosphere, they would say, we would say, whatever. It's like if it was a guy getting the runaround, he's getting cut. Yeah.
No, she was playing them so hardcore, and I was just enjoying the show. Yeah,
It is
something. Yeah, something I heard this last week. Man, I got so much validation. Things were said that I have said this past year, and just very basic principle stuff. But something I realized, only because somebody said it first, that leadership has a habit of treating people like dogs. And I feel like that's kind of true. Yesterday, I was being yelled at from across the room by somebody who was sitting on her fucking ass trying to call me while I was working. I was like ignoring it, and I'm like, dogs. They do treat people like dogs.
And people want this to be changed. They want this changed. They want to be treated with a bit more respect or something.
Oh, I refuse to be treated like a dog. Other people comply with it, though. It's just it's so interesting because maybe because I'm from the private sector, I'm from the kind of realm where if you don't do a good job, you don't fucking eat.
Yeah.
So, and all the leadership development training I've ever had, actually, one of my leadership development coaches, we had a chat yesterday about some stuff, and that's what I don't understand about this leadership I'm under, because they're not actually leaders. They are, because real leadership is a service position. It's also a managing position, and they don't manage anything well. But it's almost like they're slave drivers. They get off. Like, there's one crazy bitch at work that I have heard make comments like how impressed with herself or something she is that so many people under her are afraid of her, like bragging about it.
Right.
Like, and I'm wondering how, like, it's got to be a DEI hire type of situation, because I don't think anybody that earned that position would behave that way.
You make me think of Optimus Prime. You want a good leader, someone like Optimus. I mean, it's a cartoon and it's a boys' cartoon, so maybe you don't get the comparison. But those of you who do know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Optimus Prime, 100% good lead, but as good of a leader because he's got. It's not a glamorous thing, it's
Right.
there is. It reminds me that there was it wasn't in a cartoon, it was in a comic. It was Transformers, but it was a comic storyline where Rodimus. Sorry, can I talk about Transformers for a sec?
Yeah.
All right.
I used to watch it when I was a kid.
Okay.
The cartoon.
Do you know who Rodimus Prime is?
Mm-mm.
Hot Rod. So he's kind of like the younger sort of punk, not punk, but I mean like the scallywag. he's a young, rebellious sort of lively one. He becomes a leader anyway, but in the comic, I can't remember how or why, but he ends up having to blow up one of their own cities,
Mm.
So his own people, and he's grief stricken, you know.
Yeah.
So Optimus Prime has to kind of console him, and he says a fucking fantastic kind of pep talk. You know, it's like about like leadership carries with it the burden of guilt,
Yeah.
you know, because you have to make some hard decisions, and you can't pretend it didn't happen. You know, you have to own up to it, and he does. And Rodimus is owning up to it. He's like, you know, I can't believe I had to do that. I feel so bad about myself and all this. It's just like, basically, it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to live with that, son. You know,
Yeah.
that's what being a leader is about. Making hard decisions sometimes. Um, doesn't mean you're a bad guy, you
Yeah.
know. But that's not what it's not about
That's
sacrifice.
definitely not
About
what I'm describing.
moral.
It's definitely not.
You're talking about like rule through tyranny,
Yeah, it is
through
tyranny.
fear. Um,
Fear and I don't know. I don't see any of them as being competent leaders anybody would naturally follow. Like, there has to be a level of competence, right? Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to play you something. Okay, Billy, I've been listening to this YouTube channel as I've been going to sleep. And it's called Boring History for Sleep. And it is so based, by the way. There's so many things in it. I'm not going to be able to find it because I'm not signed into YouTube on this. But pretty much what it was saying, it was talking about 1950 or 1850s and how the British, it brought up a article about British guys going to the Orient and how it's getting decadent and they're losing their morals and stuff over there because they're just focused on pleasure. And I think it was talking about British soldiers specifically, but it was also it had this amazing line where it was like they made a decision to like go get him or something because I don't remember how it was worded. I was going to try to change it a little bit. It was pretty much saying how somebody in leaders or somebody that can't govern themselves forfeits their right to govern anybody else. Like, and that made me think of crazy bitches in leadership and how emotionally unstable they are and how incompetent they are and how they're constantly making fucking excuses on why they're not doing their job. And it's like, when I see those people, I'm like, you can't even control yourself. You can't even do your own job. Like, why are you managing other people? Like, it makes zero sense to me.
it's not supposed to make sense, is it? Well, so yeah, people like that aren't going to be what we recognize as good leaders. They're not in
Right.
it to be leaders. They're there just to be in control. Being in control doesn't equate to leadership.
Mm.
Leadership
Okay.
to to lead, to guide. You know, so
Yeah.
if you're to look out for your people that you're supposed to be leading, not treat them like shit and just fuck. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so the word carries its own definition.
Yeah.
There is, if you keep extrapolating it, to be a leader, to guide, to nurture, to care for those who look up to you. You're responsible for them.
Yes.
You know, all
Responsibility.
these words are built into the word leadership.
Right.
But a dictator, a controller, a fascist, you know, whatever, an asshole,
Yeah.
doesn't it foregoes having to do any of that. It's not. It's not. a exploiter isn't looking to be responsible for the people he exploits. He's just there to use them. An abuser or they're not really leaders. They're users. They're puppet masters. I already say I said users, like abusers as well. You know,
Yeah.
they are other things apart from being actual leaders. They've got again. It's a little bit like the performance. They wear the skin they wear the banner, the outfit, the wrapper of a leader. They go around calling themselves a leader, but they're
Yeah.
not. It's a
Yeah.
cloak and dagger. It's a facade. It's so that you fall for the. It's so that you don't question and fight back. It's so that
No, no, no,
it's so
no,
that
no.
you go along with it.
In some places, the person in charge, like, you have to follow instruction. Now, if it violates something, you're supposed to address it afterwards, but you have to listen to them, and they know that you have to listen to them, and they love that shit. And no matter how dumb their instruction is, you have to follow it. Do you know how fucking soul killing that is for me to follow dumb instructions?
It should be even more so when you realize you realize that they're not the instructions are not just
Emotional
dumb.
reactions.
Um,
Yeah, it's their emotional reaction. I was actually instructed to do something this morning, and my response I thought was great because now I know more of the rules. I was told that I was being moved or something, and I was like, "Really? I didn't know you were allowed to do that." And then the person that I was going to switch with was, "Well, I keep being moved and this and that." And I was like, "Really?" And then my instructor was like, "Actually, okay, you go away. Don't talk to her." They know damn well they're breaking the rules. Yeah, they know. See, that's why I'm having a hard time deciding whether a lot of what I'm seeing is just straight incompetence or if it's malicious.
Before you get to that point,
Yeah.
because being given orders, instructions, commands
Mm-hmm.
unnecessarily, a part of the
Wait, Billy. I heard one of these crazy bitches say one time after she got off the phone with somebody, she was like, "I just love instructing that one. She never talks back. She does exactly what I say. She says, 'Yes, ma'am.' I just love that."
that adds to what I'm about to say, because
Yeah.
sometimes they just make changes for change's sake.
For change. Exactly.
It's like, move that box over there. Okay, you
Yeah.
done that? All right, now move it back.
Yeah.
What was the point of that? There was no point. The point was it was to give you the command. That is the
Yeah.
point. It's just to
Yeah.
boss you around.
Mm-hmm. To control your behavior in that moment.
Yeah. So it's the action. It's the act of it's the guise of fake productivity or fake competence. It's like, because a leader is someone who's in charge is supposed to be giving orders. So if I'm not giving orders, then it's going to make me not in charge. So I better tell them to do something.
Right.
I was going to say another little point about that.
By the way, hello, Tom. Good to see you. Hi, Adrian. Bob Ballard, good to see you. I hope things are good in Canada. Down with John, I saw you earlier. Rusty Rivers, I hope you are well. Yeah, I don't.
I was going to say another point, but I forgot what it was. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
But I can't tell. And because I'm still confused about whether it's just incompetent or malicious, because I feel like that's kind of gonna dictate a lot of how I'm gonna be operating.
How
Like,
so? What does it matter if it's malicious or not?
that's a good question. Because maybe if it's malicious, I need to teach them a lesson.
So you want to know if it's malicious so that you will know whether or not to add an emotional component to it.
Well, because okay, no. Right now, I'm being told to have patience and not do things because they're just learning, or they just, oh, this and that, all these excuses why people aren't doing their jobs, and them not doing their jobs impacts the, like, how I can do my job in this new role. So I'm trying to have patience, but then I noticed I was going to ask you if my TE is getting a bit tyrannical because I'm losing patience. And actually, my captain, who is an ENTJ, by the way, which I think helps him training me for this because we can kind of speak the same language. But he made a comment because I didn't get something, and I was like, how do I hold that person accountable? And he's like, yeah, you need to not eat the whole elephant in one bite. Because I just wanted to go to the source and direct the focus there, because that person is responsible for the other person that I'm supposed to be patient with or something. So I can't tell if it's just incompetence or if they're maliciously fucking with me, because I keep getting told they're fucking with me and that they're jerking me around. And it kind of feels that way a lot of time, but then I look at the other side and then I'm like, okay, maybe she doesn't know, maybe she did forget, maybe, maybe she can't really do it and doesn't want to say anything, like.
Well, and maybe both can maybe both things can be true.
Okay.
It can be intent and it can be malicious at the same time.
Mm,
No, sorry, intent. I mean incompetence.
yeah.
Because like if I wanted to make like a crude brass sort of joke, like narcissists, if we were talking about narcissists kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they got intent. Even the covert ones, even the ones that are unaware, there's still a level of intent there, and they're kind of incompetent as well, you know.
Yeah.
And if not immediately, long term, like their house of cards collapses because they're not geared. I'm going to go into a long lecture about why a narcissist is incompetent, but because they're maladaptive, they don't self-reflect, they have poor foresight, they've got blind spots, like Grand Canyons. They're not interested in legit sort of meritocracy and hard grafting and earning their way and experience. They're trying to shortcut their way through life. So as a consequence, blah 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 blah. As a consequence, they don't really build the skills. So
Mm.
they become incompetent, and then they don't take any accountability or responsibility. So they're not really interested in improving as such. They do want to improve, like when it comes to exploitation and taking advantage and weaponizing things. So there is sort of capability, and you
Mm.
do get narcissists who are smart, yes, and they can do things, yes, but they have, think of it as like a handicap. They've got some severe handicaps that um, if they weren't there, they would do a lot better. They'd be even more. They'd be more competent than they are now if they even are competent.
Also, I think it would change, like, I can deal with straight incompetence, somebody that might have signed up for something, you know, knowing how the DEI shit has been going on for 3 fucking decades, and how I do know a lot of these people in these positions have been encouraged to do so by people who look like me.
Why don't you just have like a system where it's like a 3 strikes you're out kind of thing, you know?
Well, I'm just wondering, because the person I'm in direct contact with to do this work, that I need stuff from to get my work done, I kind of hope she had a level of integrity, and I was more willing to work with her on some things and help her be better at her job, personally, because I felt like it would help me get less frustrated with how
I don't know. I
incompetent she
mean,
is.
you might have someone who's got the
But
best intent.
if she's malicious in her intent, I don't want to help her at all.
Yeah, but if you, I would have thought you would have a structure in place by now to save you having to sort of
I'm working on it, Billy.
to debate
Been-
this kind of thing, because
Been kind of busy.
But well, that's what I'm saying. Like, just do a 3 strikes you out, because look, you could have the most well-intended person, but if they're incompetent, like,
Yeah.
is your company like running a training camp or something? I don't think. I mean, you know, yes, it has training, yes, to a degree, but
It's a big cluster B kindergarten where the cluster Bs are in charge. They're BFFs with the cluster Bs that work under them, and they are all slave drivers to the competent, mostly.
well, if it's a kindergarten, you know, a care center or whatever,
Yeah.
then you like the idea of having competence then is irrelevant. You're not your patients, your kids aren't going to be competent. You know,
I
they're
know.
not supposed
That's
to be
why I
competent
was
while they're
thinking
looking.
I could nurture them.
Well, that's a job in itself.
Right.
You know,
All right.
so then the actual business grinds to a halt and it gets transformed into daycare, where everyone is just basically being spoon fed, because no one is competent, and no one will, you know, it's like ongoing training.
I think another
So
thought
you've got to
behind,
cut them loose.
well, I think another thought behind that is like all of them against me. Like,
What is this, Rorschach?
it's kind of, yeah. But because my job's very specific, I need to defend people. I need to do investigations. I need to hold them accountable. So I need to defend my peers, and then I need to hold management accountable. So part of me feels like maybe if they were a little bit better, it would be more like they're not challenging me in this regard. Like, I've seen them try to do their job because I have 2 different jobs. At one point, I'm a worker, and then at another point, I'm a defender. So when I'm the defender, seeing how they operate, like, because it's a win thing. One side's got to win, right? And I feel like I'm going to always win, and it's not going to be fun because it'll be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Is it always? Isn't it like a negotiation? Like, you sort of come to an agreement.
Yes. But I feel like I can influence it in my favor every time.
I don't know. It's a tricky one, and I suppose every case, are they called cases? Like, would be treated individually.
Yeah, we can say case.
because whatever
And-
outcome you have
yeah.
on paper is like this is the outcome, but you know, did people stick to their words? They stick to the agreement.
Oh, they
Yeah,
don't. Then I have to get them again, and
yes.
then I have to get them again, and every time they dig themselves deeper and deeper. Like,
And then you're back to like, is this incompetence or is this being malicious? Or they deliver it, you know?
yeah, yeah. That's kind of the. That's the last bit of confusion that I'm struggling with. I've gotten
Occam's razor. Just apply Occam's razor.
okay.
Just have a list of questions, and then instill the Bill Burr voice in your head, and then just be like, are you incompetent? Are you malicious? Or are you just a cunt?
See, and I'm a little bit worried because I think both things all the time, and it kind of oscillates back and forth. And I haven't solidly believed one of them. So I feel like I've been believing more towards incompetence, which allows me more patience with them. And I'm kind of afraid if I start believing the malicious one, it's
You know why this is difficult?
yeah,
It's because it's on multiple levels. It's like a battle on different fronts.
yeah,
You've got a level which is like, okay, if it is competence, that's one battlefield. But if it's malicious, that's another battlefield.
hmm
If it's malicious and incompetence, that's kind of like layered. It's like
yeah,
a layered cake or sandwich or something. You know, it's like battles on top of battles.
yeah.
And then with you, because you've got your NI going off in the background, which would be like, what's really going on here?
Mm,
Is this like smoke and mirrors and some other kind of secret agenda is at play here? You
mhm.
know, like is there some other, like, is that 4D chess or something going on? So then there's another layer of 4D chess battlefield taking place. And so it would be nice and neat if you could have just one answer that would suit, you know, that would fit everything in a nice little bow and ribbon. But unfortunately, it's not as easy as that, because if you try and address or try and resolve the premise, what is being presented to you, if there is like another agenda, like
Mhm.
microaggression, you know, maybe
Mm.
maybe like a vendetta, someone's got a vendetta or they got a grudge and they don't, you know, they're using this as a way of by proxy getting what
Yeah,
they want or something, you know.
yeah.
And then
There's
then
there
it's not
is
really resolved.
some
It's
of that. There is some of that going on.
you
There's a
know,
little bit of that going on.
so it's hard to it's going to be hard for a concise um, glove that fits
Mm.
um, with no loose ends, because unfortunately it's multifaceted, you know, and it's kind of covert as well. It's not explicit. It's a lot of it is kind of innuendo, you know. So it's almost sort of like the vibes, you know, like people might have animosity or resentment. Like how do you kind of squash those kind of, if someone's bitter, like how you can't just say to them like, cheer up mate, stop being a stop being a cunt or whatever, you know, get that chip off your shoulder, let
Yeah,
bygones be bygones.
yeah.
It kind of reminds me, oh see, I wanted to tell you this in private, but I suppose, remember that princess mum I was telling you about?
Yes, that crazy bitch. Yeah.
So something happened, and she wants to be friends now.
Of course she does. She's hoovering, Billy.
It's not totally her fault because my kid ended up wanting to patch things up. So I'm pissed at my kid for doing the right thing. But why did you go? So
Is it the right thing though?
in term, especially all right. I apologize to the viewers because you'll be like, "What the hell is he
Yeah,
talking
no. This is
about?" Especially because currently we're reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and there's a part in the story of To Kill a Mockingbird where the son ruined a neighbor's flower bed, because she's a mean old bitch.
right.
And his dad says, like, you're gonna have to go over there and apologize. You know, and he's like, I don't want to. She smells or whatever. You know, like, I don't give a fuck. You're going over there to apologize. So, you know, he learned the lesson. He goes over and apologizes. He's not really sorry that he destroyed her flowers. You know, but he's facing the consequences. So I think my kid, maybe she took that story to a bit too close to home or whatever. So she wanted to say sorry. Now this princess mum wants to make be friends or whatever. And I said to her, like, well, it's nice that our kids can work things out. And I kind of said it with this sort of tone, like, it's nice that the kids can work out their differences. You know, never mind about the adults here. Like, so so we're saying hi now in the morning, like, hello, good morning, or whatever. But I've got a bit of resentment. I've got a bit of, and I'm like, fucking bitch. I'm not gonna be like, because I am being a bit sort of like two-faced, and it's like, all right, hello.
Yeah,
Right,
you are. You're lying to her face. If you're
well,
being pleasant
it's not
with
that.
her,
No, it's not that bad though. I mean, it's kind of obvious on my. If you saw my face, you'd be like, "Hey, he's fucking got a grudge." You know, it's like I'm just sort of giving her a nod, basically, like, yeah, an acknowledgement. But she's trying to be all sunshine and rainbows. Where previously she's supposed to be like, you know, giving me the death stare and all this sort of shit. She's the one that fucking. So if anyone's being two-faced, really, or about face or whatever, it's sort of her. I'm just sort of a little bit kind of like, for fuck's sake, this is an awkward position because you want to be civil, but and what's annoying is I think one of the reasons why she's all perked up and all cheery is she's interpreted it as a victory.
of course.
So, and in turn, my side with my kid had in submission, you know. But I didn't do anything. I didn't fucking do anything to her.
So, are you saying she got to you through your child?
Not to me. I don't think it's got anything really to like getting to me. But it's just the uh the the animosity is supposed to be quelled now. We're supposed to be civil or whatever. Let bygones be bygones or some shit like that. You know. Let's sort of say hi and try and be friends again. But I'm thinking, well, I don't fucking want to be friends. Yeah. But if the kids, I don't know. Anyway, that was supposed to relate to what you were saying.
Yeah.
With what you're saying.
Yeah.
Your story. Sorry for that tangent.
That's fine.
Dumping in my own personal shit here. Sorry.
I wonder what kind of social pressure was put on your daughter at school to make her want to.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just a thought.
This is the thing. Like, there's more to it, but I don't want to have to
Yeah.
divulge it.
Well, we'll go over it after we're done. Live in.
Yeah, those of you.
This is group therapy, Billy.
There's more. What are those people that you use? Is it Patreon? Go on the Patreon account and get excess additional videos.
Members only viewership.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. For the full uncut, uncensored story.
Yeah, I think it's better for them, the people that I'm dealing with, that I stay in confusion for a while, because once I make a decision, if it's really malicious, it's definitely going to change how I deal with them. Like, it's still part of me wants to help them and is more patient.
What you could maybe do, I don't know, maybe you don't need to do, but if you're overloaded or overwhelmed by all of it, kind of thing, maybe like sort of cheat cards or flashcards. So if, or just like write down just on a piece of paper, even, you know, like, if it were malicious, what does this entail? You know, bullet points, some points out, pros and cons maybe, or something like that, or course of actions, protocols if malicious, and then you could do another page if not malicious. If it's with incompetent, what does that mean? And list out options, potential outcome, possibilities, and just kind of like brainstorm scenarios and outcomes and course of actions and punishments. And
I've already done that in my head.
You know,
that's why I'm like, what I have backloaded on this side is very unpleasant.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because if you've got it all, maybe this might be why it's hard for you to reach a verdict, because it's that juggling act of trying to carry it all in your head. But if you write it down.
Well, no, it's just based on what I see and what I observe and what I experience. That's what's that, because I see the incompetence on so many different levels. But then I hear about how malicious it is. And then sometimes I see how a little bit of maliciousness here and there. But then it looks reactionary to something else. Like it was...
You pick up on things, right?
Yeah.
And for survivors or people in toxic relationships, they all go through this kind of process. And it's not until after the crisis has taken place, if they're lucky enough to get help or find a community, the MGTOWs have the same kind of thing. They go through the same experience, you know, that kind of epiphany, that realization. And they kind of realize, it's like, I saw the red flag. It was signposted. I had a gut feeling. I had an intuition. I didn't listen to it. So it's these things that you're picking up that you're not too sure about. You're like, am I imagining it? Is it just me?
Yeah.
Maybe, you know.
And I think it's because I've been in a narcissistically abusive workplace culture for a fucking year. Dude, it's been over a year. March, April, May. It's been 14 months. Like,
yeah.
You know, so the doubts I feel like the doubt creeps in a lot more. Like, I know what I'm seeing. But it also could be this other thing.
Yeah, but that's cognitive dissonance.
I know,
right?
and that's
And
what I'm
it gets hard
fighting.
because it's not like and it might be extra hard for you because you like thing with your TE to
I like
be
to know before I do, because
yeah but you
if it's one way, they're gonna get a different me. If it's the other way, they're gonna get what they
yeah
deserve.
but
So
not TE sorry. But NI likes clarity.
yeah,
It doesn't like open-endedness.
yeah,
And all these different kind of like, oh, is it this? Is it that? Is it a combination? This is NE stuff. This isn't
yeah.
stuff you're kind of really designed for. You like to funnel it. You like to funnel it down into a
Hmm.
into singularity. And be
Yeah,
like, no, you're just a cunt. That's it. That's all we
yes.
need to know. We don't need
Well,
to know anything else. You
because
know,
and I go through this loop, right? And at the end of this loop, I have this question like, does it matter if the effect of both of them are the same?
that's what I said to you.
I know.
Fuck's sake.
It's the little ancient deck pops up. Yeah. And then I'm like, then what? I guess they get treated like they're malicious. That's where I decide. Because the effect is still abusive and it harms people. So, whether you're incompetent or malicious, I don't think
Yeah,
it matters. The same way of stopping it's the same. Like
you
putting up
could
that wall.
you could use the narcissistic victim dynamic, playbook here, because it is a similar, at least with what you're saying about the malicious part, because
Yeah.
it's like, so a lot of victims will go through this period of time, and even fuck me, and like even years down the road, it's never because they can never reach a conclusion. So they
Right.
always ask this question. They go around in circles. Is my ex a narcissist? I'm not sure. They seem to show all the signs and behaviors and traits, and but they've got no diagnosis. So
Yeah.
so they're always like, and it's again, it's like, what does it matter? So it doesn't
Mm.
really. What matters is how do the way that you were being treated was 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 mistreatment, was bad, was it hurt you, it fucked you up or whatever, right? So it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter even if they were a narcissist or not. Being
Yeah.
treated that way isn't something that you should have to tolerate or put up with. It's abuse,
Yeah.
right? So you don't. So it's like, why do you even need why put yourself through this torturous process of trying to figure them out? If they're not, maybe they're a psychopath, maybe they're a border. It doesn't really matter. Right? The only reason it's the it gets a bit deep because what it reveals is that the reasons why victims want to know exactly what they're dealing with
Mm.
isn't because of that person, really. It's to do with their own insecurities of not knowing who they are themselves.
Or like, just speaking from experience, Billy, and what I'm dealing with now, like I want to know how much patience I have to have in hopes that they could change.
That's a good thing, because what I was just about to say is that
Yeah.
because the victim has a damaged sense of self, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why they want to know who their partner is, are they a narcissist? Are they a psycho? Are they whatever? Are
Hmm.
they a cunt?
Yeah.
Is because this is the roundabout way of finding out who they are. Their identity is based in relation or in reflection to in juxtaposition to the narcissist. So if they
Hmm.
can identify who this person they've been with is, like a narcissist, they can then be like, that means I'm the narcissist prey, or like, oh
Mm.
no, I was dealing with a borderline. Oh, that must mean I was the borderline's favorite person. Right? Or
Okay.
I was dating a psychopath. Oh, that means I was the victim
Hmm.
or something, right? So the individual can't identify themselves because they haven't been on the road of recovery and healing yet to build a sense of self. The only
Mm.
way they can have an identity is by in comparison to the person who abused them. So it's a little bit like Stockholm syndrome. And you just said how you want to know what you're dealing with so that you know how to respond
Mm-hmm.
accordingly.
Yeah.
And that's basically the reason why people want to know what it is. And that's the only use of like it's a dangerous game because in wanting to know who your partner is,
Mm-hmm.
um, you're almost suggesting that you want that kind of relationship to continue.
Mm.
But
Well,
that doesn't translate into what your work environment
right,
situation.
right, right, right. No,
Right.
I mean,
Because
I just don't, I don't want to get stuck playing whack-a-mole, damn it.
no,
Because if my prediction is correct, the majority, if I get rid of one, another one's just going to show up. So I'm like, I'm gauging the landscape. I mean, I do have my eye on a couple that need to go. But then I have my eye on a couple that, like, under different circumstances, they might not, without the ringleader around, the emotional terrorism ones, like, because I've seen evidence of them being different in different with different surroundings. So yeah, I think you're right, Billy. I need to go gray rock. I don't think it's my job to train those. I got enough training under my belt. Like I got enough
it,
training to deal with.
the ocean's a big place, and
Yeah.
people like to focus on. I like to focus on narcissists, but we might branch out a little bit and touch on like psychopaths and borderlines. But you also got histrionics. You also got codependents. You also
Yeah.
got OCD, all sorts of bipolar. These aren't personality disorders, but
Yeah.
you've got people with issues,
Yeah.
and you've got comorbid as well.
I think
So
I think this environment has made so many codependents though. I mean, because these crazies are responsible for people's money. So they've been able to really beat some people down. Like,
and it's hard because you want to like identify sort of again it's like a neat way of thinking about things. Like if you can identify the ringleader and get them out, then the
mm,
other people will fall in line or something like this.
yeah,
But ask the guys in the manosphere, like who's more dangerous? Is it the feminist or is it the
the
male
White
feminist?
Knight.
White
Yeah,
knight.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Well,
it's like
uh,
what would say in the narcissist community after a
yeah,
while, when people have recovered a long time, because they won't believe you when you say it at first, but eventually they'll come to realize that the narcissist themselves is kind of puny.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's they're a bit lackluster. There's nothing special about them.
yeah,
There's nothing as grandiose as they like to think. It's all because it's smoke and mirrors and performance. It's all been blown up. It's all air up there, blown up the air up the arse kind of thing. They're just like a helium balloon floating, a swollen parade balloon floating down the street.
yeah.
You know, so there's nothing really to them.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the what. That is something I can say about this culture. I am not worried about the male feminists whatsoever. There's so many more non-male feminists there, and they know exactly who the male feminists are. So, and they know it's not my job to sort those dudes out. So they know my lane is women. Everybody's on the same page. So I don't worry about those guys at all. It's just these damn women. I can't tell what's CPTSD and what is fucking vulnerable narcissism. There's a couple people that I'm iffy on.
If you want, if you don't want to have an explanation, just look it up.
I
But you know,
could look it up, Billy, but that would involve reading, and you know I'm illiterate.
yeah, dyslexic. Okay.
Dyslexic and illiterate, and now I have to type all this stuff. I have no time to even type on my phone anymore.
Right. So, oh man, there are similarities, but there are differences.
Yeah.
Namely, that narcissism, if full blown NPD, is a personality disorder. So that straight off the bat is quite a big distinction. You know, CPTSD isn't a personality disorder.
I know. It's a
Right?
trauma
So
response.
right. You could
And
argue
then,
that you could argue that you know, these cluster Bs are a trauma response. Some have even suggested that borderline is actually CPTSD, but I think those people who
so
suggested that are the ones who don't like the stigma.
so I can understand. I can understand people showing signs of emotional dysregulation. I think there's one in particular that sometimes she gives off a narky flavor, but most of what I see is like a CPTSD. Like she's been in a super narcissistic, abusive workplace culture for 5 years. So she's kind of a mess. Plus, she's a survivor of narcissistic abuse. So she claims.
There's more.
But there's also the white guilt element. She goes above and beyond to help all the things. Like there's a guilt element there too. I haven't seen her be exploitative. I have seen her be what I would consider abusive, but I'm very sensitive to abuse, and I've checked her on it, and she apologized. So there's that. I haven't seen it after I checked her on it. So there's that, and then we have this fucking racist black identitarian who I know is in the vulnerable narky fucking arena. But then is she really terrified? Because you know how our culture's been. You know how the black communities are. And you know what these people grow up fucking hearing. And you know what the mainstream media is constantly emotionally terrorizing into people. Like, could that also be CPTSD too? I don't see the CPTSD chick cheating on her husband like I see the racist chick do, and then brag about how she did it. She got herself a white man side piece. Like that was fucking disgusting, by the way.
All right.
Like, does CPTSD cause you to be morally corrupt? Oh, does it cause moral corruption?
You might not like
Billy?
me saying. Sorry.
Does CPTSD does trauma cause moral corruption?
It can do.
Really?
It can. I mean, even like codependence, because you've got these insecurities, these emotional needs. Depending on the situation, they might break the law. Not because of like a F the system and, you know, screw you, mofo, is I'm taking what I want kind of thing.
I'm not talking the law. I'm talking like the institution of marriage, like betraying somebody, that all the things. Like I see that as a severe fucking immoral thing.
If fear is an element in there, and and security, then potentially, because it kind of comes down to like sort of survivalist, like survival of the fit. You know, if your survival depends on if it needs to break, the thing is that they'll probably try and bend. They'll try to rationalize and be like, oh well, I didn't want to, but I had to, or I didn't mean to, but you know, I was kind of forced to, you know, something. They'll try and worm the weasel away out of being accountable or responsible for it. That doesn't mean they haven't done it. It's just the uncomfortable truth or something like that. But if their survival, so for like the codependent is much more of a kind of slave, right? They're
Yes.
they're
So much.
they're pulling on the apron strings, and you know they are kind of narcissistic in a way.
I was gonna say, isn't it kind of narcissistic to be as sacrificing as Jesus? Like,
Yes, Jesus has been described as a inverted narcissist. So the codependent is a bit narcissistic in that sense, right? And like you pointed out, but also in other ways, because it sounds like they're being puppeted, they're being controlled, but they're doing their own counter manipulations.
yeah.
They're manipulating the narcissist to make the narcissist happy so that they can get their self-esteem and identity. So there's a closer relationship with a codependent and a narcissist. For CPTSD, they're closer to a borderline than they are a narcissist. So sometimes that's why you need a bit of a clinician to identify, because someone might be they might come up to you with CPTSD and you think straight away, oh my god, I'm dealing with a borderline. It's like, hang on, no, you need to hear the backstory a bit more, and do it takes a bit of time to discern which one you're dealing with.
Well, the one I place in this CPTSD camp, she's working on her boundaries. I'm working on her white guilt, because she's let a lot of people jerk her around, and she's finally putting up some boundaries.
You might not like how I'm going to say this, because it's not going to give you a proper answer.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it'd be wonderful if we could just be like, yes, here it is, because that would be perfect. And perfect is being narcissistic. So you've heard of the idea, I'm sure, that there is no such thing as perfect, and just being good is enough. That's all you need. So you don't need to have a well thought out declaration of diagnosis of what kind of herb and spices you're dealing with.
Oh, that I do know. It's
right?
Definitely somebody in the cocktail, though.
And that's good enough. You could just be like, look, they're unstable.
Yeah.
We could be how they're unstable doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The fact is they're unstable. So tick, they got that one.
Yeah.
Right. They're unhealthy. They're dysregulated. Okay, tick, tick. In what ways doesn't really matter. You know, is this viable? Can we work with this? Yes, no, tick, or whatever. Right. So you can kind of broaden out the classifications. And you don't need, so then it spares you having to dissect to the nano atom molecule of species you're dealing with, because it doesn't really matter at that point, because it'd just be a bunch of cells. So if you just classify as categorize it as like, this one is very malicious. Okay, I can see the evil glint in the eye. Right, that's all I need to know. I don't need to know what kind of plot or scheme they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I know they're up to no good. I know they've got evil intent. That's all that matters. This other one, maybe not evil intent, but they're a complete doofus.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
And it's
There's
kind
no
of
one.
endearing, and it's a little bit endearing. Yeah. I don't get any maliciousness from that one whatsoever. I get more reactionary, trying to help everybody. Like, and she finally, like, she put her foot down. She's like, I'm tired of putting up with it. I'm gonna defend myself. I'm like,
I mean,
you good. Let's work on your boundaries.
and you can decide to what level of category, right? Like you can, like archetypes is maybe a bit too broad.
Mm.
So you can kind of reduce the categories a little bit to sort of narrow it down a bit. But once it kind of gets a bit too difficult, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
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 Use your NI to help you with the abstract here and just be like, what kind of flavor of madness is it? Like, was it milkshake chick? Like flavor of milkshake?
Sarah, close to be milkshake.
What kind of milk? Yeah. What kind of milkshake is this?
Yeah. I'm not so much worried about that. I'm Maybe I just don't have enough data collected yet. Maybe I'll know more after next week, because I'm going to have 2 full days. A lot of what I observe is just kind of the landscape.
But you got to set yourself. I think you don't have to do this. This is just a suggestion, because TE gathers information and it has no end.
I know.
No end, right?
I know.
So you got to have something that intercepts that and be like, you need a cutoff here, either a time limit, or a book that you write pages in, and when you run out of pages, that's the end of that. You need some kind of finishing point.
Yeah.
A decisiveness. Otherwise, we're going to be streaming about this like fucking years down the road, like when we're old gray-haired people. Remember that fucking time?
Yeah. No,
you don't know if they're a fucking narcissist.
Yeah, I don't really care as much about the labels.
Oh, maybe she's got PTSD.
I mean, she's kind of crazy, but she's not a bitch. That one. She's crazy, but she's not a bitch. Yeah, like Tom said, there are women who are just regular crazy, and then there's women who are extra crispy crazy. Rusty Rivers. Yeah. But the crazy bitches cause the women to be crazy, is the thing.
Are you asking because you're wondering if you should have sympathy?
I'm wondering because I keep getting told that I need to have more patience.
You're like, no!
Or
I don't want to have to be compassionate. Fuck off!
Well, the patient part, like,
you mean I have to have empathy? No,
it's not empathy. Like, I can work with somebody that's dumb, but somebody with evil intent needs to be handled differently. Like, those are 2 different types of nurturing, so to speak. So, I mean, I'm just thinking of one specifically that I'm not sure about. Maybe 2 more days of working with them will give me a better idea.
So you need to work out. All right, with your cheat sheets.
Mm.
You know, a lot of homework here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You need to work out your scale of evil. Where on the spectrum of evil do they cross the threshold of being malicious?
I mean, if they're lying or cheating or stealing, period, the end.
All right. There's your criteria.
Mm.
And then you get yourself a rubber stamp that you go, whoosh. Case closed.
Yeah.
I'm going to get, when's Christmas? I'm going to send you one. It's going to say cunt. It's going
to yes. A cunt stamp.
A cunt stamp.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of got tired of being patient, and I might have summoned something this morning, and it completely changed the environment. That was funny to see. I just got tired of hearing excuses why people couldn't give me what was due to me on Wednesday. So
the next time GM does a stream, she's going to have the word cunt stamped on her own forehead.
Nah, you think so?
You'd be like, Billy, you know that stamp you sent me? I had a bit of an accident. I've kind of ended up stamping myself.
That would be funny and highly inappropriate to have. I'll keep it at home, in my home office. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, no, I'm super excited about this work. I think it's perfect for me. Totally feeds all my interests. And it's not repetitive at all. So I really look forward to these days doing this new thing.
Yeah, it sounds like something you're into.
Oh, yeah.
Just try and keep yourself kind of balanced and have time to yourself to process, because it also sounds a little bit crazy.
Oh, it is. But I just focus on what is and what's been said. So, and evidence and the law and the rules, and yeah, that's what I get to focus on. And I think I'm pretty good, because a lot of times when people have talked to me and they've had like 10 things that they're like, I want to complain about these things, and then we go through them, and okay, they have 2 legit complaints, so yeah, we'll do that.
This is the kind of shit. Yeah, you're gonna get tired of it. You're gonna get fucking tired, because that's the kind of shit I was having to deal with. People in the forum just blah 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 blah. It's just like, oh my god. And then the next time you speak to them, they're singing a different tune or whatever. The story has changed.
This isn't quite that. This is, you need proof. Like, the burden of proof's on me.
Yeah.
So I know what to ask them, if they have it or not. And then they show me, I'm like, yes, you're right. Let's do this.
But the thing is,
the other ones, no, it's your feelings aren't.
Your feelings aren't evidence.
Yeah, your feelings aren't evidence. But I think I'm pretty, because they get sidetracked, and I'm like, okay, back to the point. Like, or I'll interrupt them with a valid question.
I get sidetracked. Yeah.
No, it's fun. I like it a lot.
And I take all you motherfuckers with me. But you were saying, like, you stick, rules, facts. I just stick to the law. easy, eins Wein. But you know, you're saying, but I wonder if they're malicious. I wonder if they're intent. I wonder if they're stupid. You know.
Well, I know they're stupid, but are they stupid and with malicious intent?
No, you
Like
need to.
that, I can't tolerate that, Billy.
But if you're keeping it to the Occam's razor, and you're keeping it to the rules and regulations, the boundary, the perimeters, you know, then yeah, it's by the book, very robotic, formulaic. Then theoretically, it should be kind of easy.
Yeah.
You could punch it in the algorithm and just got a spreadsheet, little flow chart. You know, is it leaking oil? Yes, no, right.
Yeah.
Did you put a rubber bung in it? Is it got a nut and bolt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna I think you're right about the narcissistic abusive relationship and how the victim falls in that trap. Like, should I stay or should I go? Like, should I have more patience for them to change? Are they ever going to change? I think fundamentally it doesn't really affect me doing my job if they do change.
Do you want a corny vomit philosophical point thrown in?
Yeah.
Just to be annoying.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people cut the narcissist a lot of slack, right? They hope,
Yeah.
oh, can the narcissist be fixed? I don't want to say no to them, oh, maybe if I just love them more, and you know, stuff like this, right? Why do they do this? Because to some extent, they're hoping that if they were in that shoe, that grace would be granted to them.
Yeah.
That they don't want to be told no, so they won't say no to the narcissist. Because they know how painful hearing no is. So they don't want to say no to the narcissist not because they don't want to hurt the narcissist, but because they don't want to have to feel what saying no will do.
See, I don't think I have a problem saying no. It's just maybe I've been listening to my mistress too much when she's like, have patience.
But in this sense, it would be like, you're wondering if you should give them patience because maybe, not suggesting it is, but maybe it's because you're hoping that you would like it if someone was patient with you.
Maybe.
Or if you were having, you know, a tough time, someone would show you a bit of understanding or give you slack or patience or compassion.
Compassion. That's possible. It's possible.
You want to treat them with dignity and humanity because you yourself would like to be treated that way.
Yeah. Instead of being treated like a dog. I cannot believe that bitch was fucking calling me from across the stage. She said my name first and last multiple times. And I was like, I wonder how many more times she's going to do that. I mean, she eventually stopped, but she never got up to find me. She saw where I walked. No, I will not be summoned like a puppy or yelled at from across the station. That shit annoys the shit out of me so much. That's the part where I'm like, maybe it's cultural. I don't fucking know. I just know it's inappropriate for leadership to be behaving in such manners. So, all right,
Yeah.
Bill, I've decided I'm going to just assume it's all malicious. and I'm going to assume all the terrible things that I've heard are true, and some of the things that I've seen are true. I just need to act accordingly from now on.
Yeah, some people might say or suggest, like operate in a kind of worst case scenario, worst
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Work on the assumption of the worst.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
Another person might say, "Don't keep lower your expectations." So.
I've learned to manage my expectations. Yeah. There's been a couple times last week that I was caught in expecting or relying on the memory and honesty of somebody I had thought I had an agreement with the day before. So, and then have them flip it all of a sudden. I just need to learn to get everything in writing with a signature. That was my last lesson in that one. Yeah. All right. I feel better. I feel less confused. It doesn't matter whether it's incompetence or maliciousness at the end of the day, right?
No, it doesn't really matter. No.
Okay.
And there's, you don't like there are lots, brain fart now. Like it's not just you got malicious and that's the only kind of adjective there is. There are other kind of douchebaggery terminologies you could.
Yeah.
Like does this fly? Are they malevolent? Maybe
Ill intent.
Are they intent? Are they disingenuous? Are they
Deceptive.
oh yes, they are.
Very deceptive.
Are they cunning? Are they conniving?
Very conniving.
Are they
very conniving? Trying to get in the way of accountability. Dodging accountability. Man, that little circus was so much fun. Before I went to that convention. It was like a little mini circus. I felt like it was just for my entertainment because I was the only one in that situation that was entertained. Just watching that unfold and watching these people that are like they thrive off of dodging accountability. Try to hold another fellow accountability dodger accountable. And she made them all look like a fucking fool. I was impressed. Like, okay. I actually learned a lot that day.
Maybe you can use it to your advantage. Because once they kind of stumble, it's like they're falling head over heels. It's kind of hard for them to. They get the momentum. They can't kind of stop themselves. And
dude, leadership got so like frustrated, and they kept coming to me and being like, "Hey, you need to do this," and I'm like, "Actually, no, I don't. Like when I'm doing this, like I don't answer to you." Like I kept having to remind them. And then there was one point where one of them got snippy with me, like snappy, as I was walking away from her office. So I turned right back around and I popped my head in her office. I was like, actually, that didn't happen because she accused me of doing something I didn't do, obviously. But she was super snippy about it. But like their emotions were high. Yeah, no, it was funny. I still don't know exactly what that crazy bitch does exactly, besides sit on her ass in her office and pop pills. I don't know. And eat. I know she's not supposed to be wearing tight yoga pants to work, and she does. And she shouldn't ever in public.
Just ever, full stop. Public or not.
Yeah. Eating popping pills while not working sounds great, actually. I don't know, Tom. I don't think you would. When you see the result of doing that, like it's got to be uncomfortable, like being in her body, like very uncomfortable. I don't know. I gained 2 pounds over the past week, and I feel gross. I ate so shitty at this convention. Ugh.
Wow, man. You gained 2 pounds? Is that fucking is that like a kilo?
I don't know. I feel like I gained 2 pounds. I didn't actually weigh myself, but
Oh, you feel like.
oh no, there's definitely all kinds of head meds. Yeah, I think all of them pretty much do. What people have to do to survive this super toxic environment. Well, I do. I feel better, Billy. Thank you.
Let's call it quits here then.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody in the chat. Tom, good to see you.
Take care, everybody.